I know I'm a bit late putting this movie out, but and this blog and transcript, but a little under the weather lately, and my cell phone broke down because I drop it on the concrete a lot like that, or I fall on it while it's in my pocket. And after breaking about 10 simple cell phones, flip phones, otherwise good flip phones, by falling on them, I had found this one that is practically indestructible for a one-time hit at least. But after you've dropped it about 5,000 times, even this might succumb to a little bit of air. I think all that really happened was the O-ring and the battery seal came loose. Kind of lost its seal. Yeah, that's what happened. The O-ring's not even in there. Somewhere along the time when I was changing the battery before, the O-ring came out. And so it got dust in there and the contacts weren't hitting. Because when I took the battery out, blew on it and put it back in, it worked fine. But that was after I'd already ordered a new phone. I thought about sending the new phone back, but this phone, which I really love, is not in production anymore. You can get it on Amazon.com for $75, but it's a lot of money for something that they don't make anymore. And the weak link in this whole thing is really this this transformer, the mini USB charger, which I broke the metal end off of that, trying to put it in my phone down here once. I went through a couple of these because I leave these things plugged in. One, they use a lot of electricity because they're even when the phone's not plugged into them, they're using some electricity. So they're just turning it into heat. And they convert the AC into DC current. I won't go into how that happens because I'm no electrician, and I used to know exactly how that worked, but I'm out of practice with that, so. I just know that it does. I'm going to save this one, just in case I lose the other one or something, or it breaks for some reason. Or if it turns out I'm not smart enough to use a smartphone. They had a couple other flip phones on there that were also military grade like this, but the reviewer said it had a few problems with it, but I didn't understand how it could. But said it had something to do with keeping time. I thought the time came on 10 o'clock with this. In fact, I'm going to check that pretty soon. I was going to check that before I started this movie, but it's late. This is the phone I was going to get. I got. It's pretty tough. Ride the Commando. I don't sell these, but that was some electronic crap. But if I did, this is pretty good. This is a pretty rugged phone. It's got all your military specs on it. It's got a camera and it's got time. Like all smartphones, the battery life is not the best. The battery charge time is not the best. But we'll trade off with that because we're going to get a charging cradle for it like we had for this phone. Yeah, I usually use a charging cradle like this phone had. I was going to get one right from Verizon, but they were out of stock. When I called around, I found out somebody had one, so actually I got it on eBay from somebody. That's going to be here pretty soon. And even if I didn't, the USB cables for these phones are much sturdier than the ones for that. You can see it better. It's got a shape to it that tells you which side is up and which side is down, so you don't put it upside down and try to plug it in and get wrong that way and start to bend it. And it's a bit multiple sturdier. It doesn't bend as easy. That's why you do it. You bend it. You bend these 3 or 4 times trying to plug them in, and that's enough on cell phones. That's what I've been wasting all my time on this week. Learn how to use this thing because it's different than a simple thing with hooky keys on it. Because it's all on a glass board. Figure out how to do that. You're not used to it. You got to figure out how to do it with your fat fingers. Figured out first you can't do it with fingernails. You got to cut your fingernails down short. But you can do it. I don't know how girls do it. What I was really going to talk about was as a final note to this spare repair deal I did the other week, which was an excellent repair, except this part that I thought was the other part that I clipped off, I found when I was walking around with bare feet. Is the part that would actually went on the printer. It just, after printing up about 300 or 400 sheets of paper over the week, it finally worked itself off. So duct tape is not going to hold it from sliding out. And the clip, the resistance from the clip itself is not enough to keep it from sliding off. So I'm going to have to get some glue. Put some glue under the flat part. That's what I was going to get at Gurney Jones's the other day. The last mom and pop hardware store in Richmond. That's a good one too. I didn't go there. Jackson's closer, and I knew Johnny Jackson. Yeah, I don't know all the people there too. They're pretty good. Pretty good. Fixed you up pretty well. But if you didn't have it, they didn't have it anywhere else in town. They didn't have it at Jones's usually. Anyway, right now I'm going to slide this back on there. It will last for another 200 or 300 sheets of paper before I get some glue. And then I'll just put the glue back on it. Mainly the tape is mainly on here, I guess. It's not holding it. It's leaving it on there just so the paper slides up over the tape, over the little lip of the edge of this thing. It hits the vertical part of the piece of plastic, which I hope, as you can see better through the film than when I showed you last week, is just a little clip that goes on a little Venetian mini blind, and and just hold the louver over the front of it so it looks good. 2 or 3 of those that go on there. I don't know where the other 2 or 3 are. Wish I had them. I'll probably find them someplace. Maybe they're on there. Yeah, that's right. There were 3 and I only used 2. So, if you get some crazy glue, super glue, whatever it's called, if you call it crazy glue, no, it might have changed the name, super glue, I don't know. Whatever it is, when I get some. They have Mary Jones's, but they also got a Walmart. And I hate to even mention Walmart. In fact, forget I even said Walmart. I'm going to get some crazy glue someplace. Next week. And that'll weld that down. It'll stay on there until I get some more. Until I get some glued down. And that's really all I got to say this week. I'm sorry, I haven't gonna start to work on that post out the front, but that's gonna take me a couple of days of figuring stuff out and so on and stuff. So later stuff, so I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to saw that up the top. Got it mostly figured out, but it'd be easier if I had one of those battery operated saws like my neighbor has. A good bar his, I suppose. But he might not want to loan it to me. But that's part of what he does for a living. Carpentry and restaurant. And the city council on top of that. Well. I promised him another repair job if I ever had any money again. He probably won't. I'm going to stick with my original plan. I got 2 saws. One of them's lighter than the other one. I'll probably use a lighter one, even though it's got the blade is not as won't cut as deep. But I can finish up with a hand saw once I get most of the way through it. I have to do that anyway, no matter what I did, because I can't cut all the way around up to the top because it's right near a windowsill. Well, I hope my voice was clear today. If it wasn't, well, read the transcript, I'm sorry. Transcript will be at www.paralysisaids.com. My website. I know about half the things in my store, the link on them, they'll go to a place you can actually buy them. 1 or 2 things like the drill, even though that's the one thing that I talk about the most, because it's the thing I know about the most. It doesn't, because I haven't talked to Dave a lot yet about the sugar, because I have too much of the stuff going on. I'm sorry about that. But that's... I did call them. Oh, they were one of the first people I called, but it happened that there was a hurricane that hit the East Coast of their office. They were a little disorganized right then, so they couldn't get the phones there. I just talked to some guy in Texas. You can set me up with the people on the East Coast because you just got to be on hurricane. So, had I called back since then? Well, too tired to make a video. I should have cut this about 5 seconds ago. Okay, we're done. That's how this is going to get fixed. We'll drop a super glue right underneath the flat part. And that'll hold her on for, well, not forever, but close enough to forever that it'll hold on there for as long as the printer works. Something bad will go wrong with the printer eventually. Always does, otherwise I should still have the printer that I had that I bought my first computer. Well, that's not true either, because nothing went wrong with that printer. It's just I used a parallel port, and printers now use USB ports. They don't even have parallel ports on computers anymore, so that's a big honking piece of big honking paperweight upstairs. It's a little printer. That's okay. Progress technology, you know. Little tape recorder that I got 20 years ago still works. They're not obsolete yet, even though they have digital devices that do this. And I should have stopped talking about 10 minutes ago. So we're going to stop this now.